So I'm going to talk about two things. I'm going to point to the drivers of change, because that's what we do at the Institute. We check out everything and then we say, oh yeah, that looks like it's moving. So I'm going to indicate some of those drivers. And then the other nice thing we do is sit and dream up stuff. And then I will share some of our dreamt up stuff in the end with you. The first driver of change in South Africa is demography. We have large numbers of people. There are interesting things as well. We tend to focus a lot on the youth and educating the youth, especially in higher education at the moment. That first little dose of higher education gets a lot of press. But if we look at this, we had better not forget the age group, because that grey line is the people between 30 and 59. And if everything else works together, the people that are aged between 30 and 59, many of them in South Africa do not have any higher education qualifications. And if they do, they're going to need another round and another round and another round. The next thing that we are seeing is this rising aspiration of going to university and getting a degree. People don't have a really clear thing, I want to do this thing and be qualified to do that thing. They just want to go there and get a degree. And that complicates the offer of offering higher education. A lot of the people in academia will tell you that people expect to arrive and get a qualification just for arriving. And that makes it really complicated. With that, we see an emerging need for something that is true to Africa. But on the same hand, and this seems to contradict each other, which makes the designers of higher education office really, really complicated, they also want international recognition. The next thing that are changing is, of course, the world of work. And because the world of work is changing, the requirement of being educated or trained or skilled to be able to live in that changing world of work is changing rapidly as well. And higher education, being full of accreditations and regulations, are sometimes slow to adapt to this fast-changing needs. Industry 4.0 is what we like to call all of this cool technologies and stuff, which is, by the way, an enabling factor as well. But the changing world of work is changing the way and changing the number of times that people will have to be skilled, reskilled, upskilled, or maybe change route totally, because whatever you were doing up to now can now be done by some or another technological device, and you need to do something else. We are also seeing a new kind of student, and they are very interesting. They come from all ages. Sometimes the physical layout and the physical offer of higher education is not really geared for that. Or we have people with family responsibilities, or they have to be able to work a little bit as well. We also have very well-connected students. Our students nowadays are more and more environmentally conscious. They want to know that whatever they are doing now, it will be good for the earth. And that is lovely, because it brings out new research topics, it brings out new interest, but they're also very opinionated. They will not just sit there and believe whatever you tell them. Some of the higher education entrants, and especially the older ones, if they enter for the first time into higher education, and the ones just leaving school, may have significant problems with maths, science, even language and communication stuff. So we need to design higher education in some or another way to be able to bridge those gaps. So the Sustainable Development Goals gives a lot of direction, but it also pushes to change what we have been teaching for a long time. And then the society thing that is changing. We had this 3-stage model all along, where you got taught, and then you finished. And then you started working. And then one day, you got the gold watch. That doesn't happen anymore, does it? No. Okay. But then you worked, and then you retired at around age 60 or so, and then it was the end. All right, then you did something else. But that 3-stage thing, a single dose of education post-school is not going to last you through a whole life of employment. We're going to see rounds and rounds and rounds and rounds, and we will have to redesign higher education and work. One of the pictures that we are playing with is a block type thing that you can build anything with, that you do this block now because you need it to do whatever you are busy with doing, and then you do another little block, and then you do another little block, and maybe 3 of those blocks together form one thing that you do, and then you realize that, okay, that's not going to happen anymore because the robots are coming or whatever. And then you take 2 of those blocks and combine it with another block that you quickly do, and then you have the skills and the aptitude and whatever to do something else again. These things are not just soft drivers. They are things that could really disrupt what we are doing, and technology is one of those. And when we talk about disruption at the IFR, we don't look at it only in a negative way, because many times disruption is where new growth happens, all right? So a lot of these things could enable people. You've heard about MOOCs, massive open online courses that come from the big universities. We now see a little bit of a counter trend, and that is specialized private online courses, where a certain industry or a certain organization design a specific course because they want their people to be able to know that. And then augmented and virtual reality opens up a lot of opportunity. And the technology is getting to such a level that it's getting to be more accessible and more affordable. We see a lot of collaboration happening between industry that have access to these technologies and the academic world, where they say, well, listen, we would like you in your classes to think about this. So come over to our facility, or we will install something in your facility so that you could play with these things, and we just, as industry, get the benefit of your thinking and your thoughts. So there's a lot of moving closer together, especially on sharing technologies between clever people that want to think about things and industry that actually need that clever thoughts. Another big thing that could blow everything out, especially in South Africa, where this is a very tense topic at the moment. Across the world, there is a movement. We sometimes think it's only here that people shout for free education. We are not only seeing a movement towards free classes or tuition, we are also seeing free in terms of textbooks, research, that type of thing, to make whatever the academic world does more accessible to a wider and a broader audience. So a lot of courses, a lot of things are moving across the globe. In South Africa, it's a very contentious issue at the moment. Yes, everything has to be free. Okay, social unrest. We see a lot of new people coming, and unrest like that triggers energy. So if the other problem we could have is that a lot of other social unrest, not just about higher education, could spill over to the higher education field and disrupt a lot of things. Okay, now to the dreaming up bit. Right, that was the trends. Those are the things that are pushing against the current system to make it change. Now we dream up a few things and we say, okay, so let's imagine, where could this go? Where could that go? One of the things that could happen is that we could have artificially intelligent tutors. So you just be wherever you are, learning is going to survive. But maybe lecturers that stand like what I do now and try to explain something to someone may not be that necessary. We have this artificially intelligent Alexa that lives with you and knows through your wearable devices whether this is a good time to share new information with you. So your AI tutor would know when you need the next information and share it appropriately, and also connect you with other people across the globe that are thinking about the same things that you are thinking about at the moment. We may see interesting new outcomes. At the moment, the outcomes are very course specific. You have to be able to digest this, analyze this, write this. But you know what? Computers sometimes can do that much faster than what we can do. The things that we can actually bring and change and do are stuff like wisdom and tolerance and cultural intelligence and ethical understanding and giving guidance. So we may see in the curriculums as they come a little bit more focus, and that you will actually be assessed on your ability to be a human. What we imagined is that there could be a very real possibility of a portfolio degree, that you do a little bit in this faculty, a little bit in that faculty, another little bit in a faculty of another institution. Imagine that. Or within the same institution, somebody wants to do something from economic sciences and something from the medical faculty and something from engineering, and build their own degree, because that is what they would like to be able to do in the end. Then maybe we could imagine an international system of accreditation, but not on organization level or even degree level, but on subject or module or course level. And what we imagined is that the academic world and industry will move a lot closer together. And we might have specialist universities, which is a combination of an industry body or even a large player in an industry with support from the university or the academic world to set up their academic qualification, their own specialized university. We will require multiple doses of learning. And people will have to be coming back all the time. And we will have to design or redesign our whole higher education world to be able to accommodate this multiple rounds of lifelong learning. And then the role of devices, we think the role of devices is going to increase a lot. We, having vested interests, still think that the person of the facilitator will still be around. We have to. So that we think and foresee that the most knowledgeable will be communicating from wherever they are to whoever and wherever those people are. The role of the campus, with its physical existing constraints, will have to change. So we imagined, okay, so if these are the buildings, where are they going? What are they going to look like? Where students, when they enroll for the course, they already have access to all the materials of the course, pre-recorded basic info lectures, the primary information sharing. And what you then have when you enter for the course, that means you can enter for the course in January or August or April or any month that you would like. And then when you enter the course, you get all the materials already, you watch it at your own pace, you go through it. Whenever you think that you are ready to start engaging on the subject, you book the face-to-face session, of which there are a few options. So it fits into your work life, into your social life and whatever, and then you go to campus. We also think that we may not have this whole long degree programs anymore, but something similar to Voortrekkers, Scouts, Brownies and whatever. You get some kind of badge, all right? You get some kind of badge so that once you've completed a module, you get some or another kind of badge. This is the end of our dreams for now. Please talk to us. We like to dream up stuff. So whenever you want to play, come. We love to play. Thanks.